On December 26, 1900, a ship approached a remote lighthouse in Scotland's Outer Hebrides and found something impossible. 3 men had vanished into thin air, leaving behind clues that made no sense whatsoever. The Flannan Isles sit roughly 20 miles west of the Isle of Lewis, exposed to the full fury of the Atlantic Ocean. It's a desolate place where seabirds outnumber humans 1,000 to 1. The lighthouse there had been operational for just 1 year when the keepers disappeared, designed to guide ships through one of Britain's most treacherous waterways. 3 experienced lighthouse keepers manned the station in rotating shifts. Thomas Marshall, the occasional keeper; James Duckett, a veteran with years of service; and Donald MacArthur, a seasoned keeper known for his steady nerves. These weren't rookies. These were men who'd weathered countless storms and isolated months without incident. On December 15th, a passing ship noticed the lighthouse was dark. No signal, no light. Just darkness where there should have been a beacon. Bad weather prevented anyone from investigating for 11 days. When the relief vessel Hesperus finally reached the island on Boxing Day, the superintendent Joseph Moore rowed ashore with a growing sense of dread. The entrance gate was closed, the doors were shut, and when he called out, only silence answered. Inside, Moore discovered a scene frozen in time. The clock had stopped. An untouched meal sat on the table. One chair was overturned, as if someone had stood up suddenly and never returned. But here's where it gets truly strange. 2 sets of oilskins, the heavy weather gear keepers wore during storms, were missing. But the 3rd set still hung on its hook. This suggested that one man had rushed outside into harsh conditions without proper protection. Something had compelled him to abandon all training and common sense. The lighthouse itself was in perfect order. Lamps trimmed, equipment maintained, everything as it should be, except for the missing men. Then investigators found the logbook, and what they read chilled them to the bone. The entries from December 12th described a severe storm with winds beyond anything the writer had experienced. But here's the problem. No storm occurred that day. Weather records and nearby locations reported calm conditions. December 13th's entry was even more disturbing. It described all 3 men in tears, on their knees praying. The entry mentioned Thomas Marshall, normally the calmest of the 3, in a state of total terror. The final entry, dated December 15th, simply stated the storm had finally ended. Again, meteorological records show no such storm ever existed. Theories have multiplied over the decades like barnacles on a ship's hull. Some say a rogue wave swept all 3 men into the sea while they investigated damage to equipment stored near the landing area. But this doesn't explain the phantom storms in the logbook or why an experienced keeper would venture out improperly dressed. Others point to the overturned chair and untouched meal as evidence of sudden panic. But panic about what? And why would experienced men hallucinate storms that weren't happening? One particularly unsettling detail often gets overlooked. The Flannan Isles have a dark reputation among Scottish Gaelic speakers, who traditionally avoided the islands. Ancient legends speak of spirits and disappearances going back centuries. Superstitious nonsense, surely. Yet those logbook entries describe 3 rational, experienced men descending into inexplicable fear over something they recorded as a storm, but that never meteorologically existed. The official investigation concluded the men were likely swept away by a wave while securing equipment. Case closed. But this tidy explanation ignores the most troubling evidence: those logbook entries about impossible weather and unexplained terror written days before the disappearance. Were the keepers experiencing some shared delusion? Was there something on that island that weather stations couldn't measure? The lighthouse operated with rotating keepers for decades after the disappearance, eventually becoming automated in 1971. But some keepers who served there later reported feelings of unease they couldn't explain, especially during storms. To this day, no bodies were ever recovered. No physical evidence explained what really happened during those final days of December 1900. So what terrified three experienced men so badly they documented storms that never happened? What made a seasoned keeper abandon his weather gear and rush into conditions that should have kept him safely inside? And perhaps most disturbing of all, if they didn't die in a storm that meteorologists say never existed, then what actually killed them? The lighthouse still stands on Flannan Isles, automated and empty, keeping its secrets as faithfully as it keeps its light.